Hi guys, this is Nick, and you're watching some Midwest Crypto, and I wanted to bang out a quick video today, just going over our predictions for Bitcoin. A little bit of technical analysis, nothing too crazy, because I'm kind of new to it myself, and maybe we can learn together, and just thinking about how Bitcoin might move in light of its previous movements. Now, before we even look at the TA chart, I think it's important with something as big as Bitcoin to just think intuitively, to look at the market and the news and past prices and get a feeling for how things are. Like, you don't need a million indicators and you don't need to be a genius to see that Bitcoin has a tendency in recent weeks to dip down to about 57, 58K and then bounce off. In general, we have a little bit of an upward trend here, and that upward trend is being challenged here. So if it were to break too far down, we could probably expect it to plummet, but if it slows down and consolidates, we can probably expect it to rise back up. There's a million different indicators we could use, and they're probably more accurate than just looking at this and saying, hey, chart goes up. But sometimes just using some basic intuition will take you pretty far. So why do we think it's going to stop around 59K, aside from any pulling up the RSI or the trading volume or the MACD? Well, it's gotten bad news. So I'm going to pull up the CNN article. It's not behaving. It's really not behaving. But Chinese authorities are ramping up on a crackdown on crypto mining. Now, what makes this significant? This sounds like bad news for Bitcoin, right? And in the short term, it is. But if I had $1 for every single time the Chinese government threatened Bitcoin, I would, at this inflation rate, be able to buy an entire gallon of milk. So, China threatening Bitcoin, threatening crypto, threatening mining, it's not new. But every single time they make that threat, the market sinks. And about 3 to 5 days after the market sinks from that threat, if even that long, it tends to bounce back. So what we're looking for here is for this to stay around 59,000, maybe for a few more hours, maybe for a day, though that might be too long, and then to have it bounce back around, again, I'm not using an actual indicator here, but we should expect it to at least gain back some of this red range, I think, because kind of like the maxim where you sell the rumor and buy the news, it's kind of the same thing here. People are just selling the news, and we can basically buy back the rumor here, or the rumor being that this whole China thing is not going to actually damage it. Rumors may be a bad word, but we've seen this before. And I think at the 60,000 level, there's a big psychological barrier. Once you get far below 60,000 for any real amount of time, people start to lose confidence. This bull run has kind of lasted a lot longer than I think most of us would have expected. If we scroll out to say a weekly view here, we can see that Bitcoin really took off. We had that early year where it hit about 60K, and then it came back down to earth. And I think a lot of people, based on the whole Bitcoin cycle, were expecting this to kind of tank down, and maybe in a year, 2 years, we would see some more catastrophic growth. But during this whole period, for anyone who remembers what this time was like, back in like April, May, Bitcoin was just completely savage with bad news. Every government seemed to be going against it. There were failed projects. It just was kind of a mess. And then it consolidated, and once the bad news no longer had enough pressure to hold down the price, we got this skip. And this is a much smaller movement here, so we should watch that closely to make sure it doesn't turn into something bigger before it bounces. But I really think that it's going to get back up into that low 60,000 range, maybe by tomorrow. Let me see. Well, we're on 8-hour candles, so maybe not. And yeah, so that's kind of like my technical analysis with no technical analysis. Part of it is maybe I'm just being a little bit lazy, but I'm also trying to show you that you don't need to draw a million lines on something for it to make sense. That's it. Just wanted to give you guys a quick video of my opinion, and we can see here it's kind of hanging tough around 59,000 because it's that's kind of where the resistance is, and since it's below 60,000, we want this to get back above 60,000 soon. If it stays down below 60 and people lose faith that it's going to go above 60, you might see it fall back into like the mid 50s, but odds are I would expect that we'll get a small rally in the next few days. Anyway, thank you for watching. We're going to have more concrete TA tutorials in the future from people who are much better at it than me. I just thought that the big crash today was worth commenting on, and go into the comments and tell me your opinions. If you think I'm off base, if you think you're going to get a big discount tomorrow, or maybe you're hodling like your life depends on it. Let me know in the comments. Please like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell.